Late night special, late hour special, man. We doing Aaron Hernandez, man, because that was a wild one for me, man. So we just gonna jump right into it.
Investigators continue searching for answers after a body was found in a local industrial park. The Pinpoint News Tracker shows you where this gruesome discovery was made in the North Attleboro Industrial Park off John Deach Boulevard.
We're here in an office park in North Attleboro. This is where a body was discovered. You see the police cars right there, discovered on the side of the road near those gravel piles. It was around 5:30 yesterday afternoon here in North Attleboro. A jogger without a cell phone came to an office building to report discovering a body.
Monday, June 17th, 2013, North Attleboro, Massachusetts, a suburb 35 miles southwest of Boston and 10 miles northeast of Providence, Rhode Island. 15-year-old Matthew Kent was a student at Bishop Feehan High School in Attleboro. After school that day, he worked out at the health club Answer His Fitness on John L. Deach Boulevard. Matthew lived on Homeward Lane in the Westwood Estates neighborhood of North Attleboro, and he planned to jog home after his workout. His route would take him through the North Attleboro Industrial Park and this clearing. The Answer His Fitness Club was located in the north side of this building. An angle view of Matthew Kent's route showing the clearing. Around 5 p.m., Matthew Kent finished his workout at Answer His Fitness. He ran north on John L. Deach Boulevard. Upon entering this clearing, he stopped. He spotted a man laying on his back. He asked him if he was okay. Getting no response, he went to Advanced Electronic Design, and the police were called. Based on this crime scene photo and Google Earth historic imagery from April 27, 2013, 2 months prior to the murder, this building did not exist, and the body was found approximately here. The man had been shot several times. Around the body, the police found a cap, tire tracks, and shoe prints. In addition, they found a partially smoked marijuana blunt and several shell casings. In the dead man's pockets, detectives found $64.75, a cell phone, 2 sets of keys to an Enterprise rent-a-car, and a wallet. An ID in the wallet established his identity as Odin Lloyd, 27, of Dorchester. When police contacted the local Enterprise office, they were surprised to learn that the keys found on the body belonged to a Chevrolet Suburban rented by New England Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez. He lived nearby on Ronald C. Meyer Drive. Aaron Hernandez was born November 6, 1989, in Bristol, Connecticut. Bristol was only 120 miles driving distance southwest of Boston and North Attleboro, Massachusetts, a fact that will prove significant in relation to events that occur later in this story.
Dang, so Aaron Hernandez was born and raised from that New England Patriot area of Boston and Massachusetts and all that shit. So, damn, that shit crazy. I ain't never know that. So he was like the D Rose of that shit. He was born and raised over there, and he ended up going to the Patriots, and he was raw. Yeah, he. So he was down there one of them, one of them success stories out there, born and raised, homegrown product. What the fuck they got going on in Bristol? Cause He got he got a whole different mindset. So I wonder what the fuck going on in Bristol, Connecticut.
He was raised in a wooded and hilly area of Bristol.
Man, this shit crazy, man. Aaron Hernandez is on top of the world, man. Catching passes from Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? One of the best tight ends in the league.
This is a street view of the house on Greystone Avenue in Bristol where Aaron grew up.
Nice little crib, you know what I'm saying? Long driveway. You know what I'm saying? Like a middle class neighborhood. So how did he become what he
His parents
became?
were Dennis and Terry Hernandez. He had one brother, 3 years older, named Dennis John. He was known as DJ. Aaron's father, Dennis, was a star athlete at Bristol Central High School in the 1970s and went on to play football at the University of Connecticut. He was a mentor to both of his sons, who were also outstanding athletes. Even though he was a strict disciplinarian and physically abusive to the family, DJ and Aaron idolized him. Aaron and DJ each excelled as athletes at Bristol Central. DJ followed in his father's footsteps at UConn. Aaron excelled at football, basketball, and track. He was an All-American football player as a junior and was recruited by many highly regarded Division I football programs. However, he had already made a verbal commitment to play football at UConn with his brother.
I wonder what happened.
In January of 2006, shortly after Aaron had turned 16, Dennis died unexpectedly from complications following routine surgery. Aaron was devastated. DJ was away at UConn, which left Aaron and his mother at home. That relationship was strained, and Aaron started spending most of his time at his cousin Tanya Singleton's house on Lake Avenue in Bristol.
He lost his daddy. That's what it was, huh?
He became very close to his cousin Tanya Singleton. This is a street view of cousin Tanya Singleton's house at 114 Lake Avenue in Bristol, where Aaron spent most of his time following the death of his father. Tanya became a mother figure to Aaron. The situation at that house, along with the loss of guidance from his father, is believed to have had a negative influence on Aaron. It was there that he met two members of Bristol's darker side, Ernest Bo Wallace and Carlos Ortiz, both of whom would play a large role in Aaron's future. Notice this garage. It will become significant later in the story. In April 2006, 3 months after Dennis Hernandez died, Aaron visited the University of Florida in Gainesville on a recruiting trip. He told DJ it was just a vacation, but while he was there, he announced that he had changed his mind and would not be playing football at UConn, but rather would become a Florida Gator. He graduated a semester early from Bristol Central in December 2006. The next month, at the age of 17, he started school in Florida. The Gators had just won the BCS National Championship, and in Gainesville, the players were treated like royalty. Aaron's first encounter with law enforcement in Gainesville occurred the night of Friday, April 27, 2007. 17-year-old freshman Aaron Hernandez was out with Gators quarterback Tim Tebow and another friend. They were out at a popular university restaurant called The Swamp. It was located at 1642 West University Avenue, 3 blocks from Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Despite a petition drive and legislation to prevent it, the swamp was torn down in 2020 so that a new residential and retail complex could be built on the property. The swamp was scheduled to reopen at a new location in 2022. Around 1 a.m., as Aaron and friends were leaving, Aaron was confronted by the manager about paying for 2 drinks. When he refused to pay, the manager did not back down and continued to hassle him. Outside the bar, Aaron punched the manager and ran. The punch had been hard enough to rupture the manager's eardrum. The Gainesville police were called, but Aaron was gone. The incident was settled by university personnel, and Aaron suffered no consequences. 5 months later, September 29, 2007, that Saturday night, the 4th-ranked and unbeaten Florida Gators were upset by the Auburn Tigers. After the disappointing loss, Aaron Hernandez, still a 17-year-old freshman, was out with teammates at a club called The Venue. The venue was east of the campus at 233 West University Avenue.
So Aaron Hernandez showed he was a little violent, you know what I'm saying? He was young, you know what I'm saying? But shooting and killing motherfuckers.
Here's a street view from 2019 of the Venue Club on University Avenue, where Aaron and his teammates went after the Saturday night game. University Avenue looking east. They were joined by former Gator, now Jacksonville Jaguar rookie Reggie Nelson. Around 1:30 a.m., some of the players got into an altercation with 2 local men, Justin Glass and Randall Kaysen. As a result, Gators linemen, twin brothers Michael and Marquise Pouncey, along with local man Justin Glass, were escorted out of the club by Venue bouncers. Former Gator Reggie Nelson and Randall Kaysen met in a parking lot after closing. They were acquaintances, and according to the police report, they were able to talk things out, shake hands, and everyone was all smiles. The locals, Glass and Kaysen, were joined by another friend of theirs named Corey Smith. They headed off westbound on University Avenue in Smith's 1997 Crown Victoria. Glass was driving, Smith was in the passenger seat, and Kaysen was seated behind Smith. Traffic was heavy as they drove west on University Avenue. When they reached the intersection at 13th Street, the Crown Victoria was in the far right lane, 5 to 7 car lengths from the intersection. The intersection of West University Avenue and 13th Street looking west, the approximate location of the Crown Victoria. University Avenue looking east. As the 3 local men waited at the stoplight, a man walked through the Holiday Inn parking lot towards the passenger side of the car. When he reached the sidewalk, he stopped and fired 5 shots through the open passenger window. Justin Glass, the driver, was hit in the arm. Corey Smith, the front seat passenger, was shot in the head. Randall Kaysen, seated in the back seat, was not hit. The shooter then ran north through the Holiday Inn parking lot towards McDonald's. All witnesses that saw the shooter told police that he ran north towards McDonald's. That doesn't make sense based on the location of McDonald's here in 2022. McDonald's is clearly east of the shooting location. However, Google Earth historic imagery, seen here from 2015, shows McDonald's actually was north of the shooting location in 2007. Notice that the site of the current McDonald's is a vacant lot. The McDonald's on Northwest 13th Street was torn down and replaced by a Publix grocery store. McDonald's was rebuilt on the corner of West University Avenue and Northwest 12th Street. After the shooting, despite having an arm wound, Justin Glass turned left onto 13th Street and drove south, straight to the emergency room at the University of Florida Shands Hospital. At the hospital, Randall Kaysen told the police he saw a large Hispanic or Hawaiian man, 6'3" or 4, muscular build with a lot of tattoos, approach the car and fire the shots. He said he was accompanied by Reggie Nelson. Several other witnesses described the shooter as a black male, 5'10" to 6'1", slender to medium build, shoulder-length braided cornrow hair, wearing a green polo-type shirt. Kaysen later admitted it wasn't Hernandez that he saw. Corey Smith survived the gunshot wound to his head. The Pouncey twins, Reggie Nelson, and Aaron Hernandez were brought in for questioning by the Gainesville police. The Pounceys and Nelson claimed that after leaving the venue, they had not been on University Avenue and were never in the vicinity of the shooting. Aaron Hernandez told police he wished to invoke his right to counsel and subsequently was never even questioned. No one was ever charged with the shooting. The case was closed in 2017.
Because ain't nobody say nothing.
As a sophomore tight end, Hernandez was a pivotal player on the Florida Gators football team. On January 8, 2009, they won another BCS national championship.
Tebow steps up, delivers a strike to the tight end Hernandez, and that's a first down. Tebow takes a knee, and that is that. Congratulations to the University of Florida Gators, who have won the school's third National Football Championship.
On January 1st, 2010, the 5th-ranked Florida Gators defeated the 4th-ranked and unbeaten University of Cincinnati Bearcats 51-24 in the BCS Sugar Bowl game.
Second down and goal for the Gators. Tebow with all day, rolling left, finds Hernandez, and he is into the end zone, touchdown.
The last thing you want to do is let Tim Tebow get outside the pocket. His go-to guy, Hernandez, here on the run.
5 days later, Aaron Hernandez announced he would not return for his senior year at Florida and would be entering the NFL draft. As a junior, Aaron was a consensus All-American and was the John Mackey Award recipient as college football's best tight end. Based on his talent, he was expected to be a first or second round draft pick. On April 23, 2010, due to off-the-field concerns, he wasn't drafted until the 4th round, overall pick 113, by the New England Patriots. Reportedly, many teams decided not to draft him because, quote, he was a problem, unquote. On June 6, 2010, Aaron signed a 4-year, $2.37 million contract with the Patriots. He received a $200,000 signing bonus. Both figures are considerably less than what players with similar talent would typically sign for. Upon starting his career with the Patriots, Aaron lived in a rented townhouse in Plainville, Massachusetts. It was only 6 miles southwest of Gillette Stadium, the home of the Patriots and Aaron's place of employment. Unfortunately, it was also only a 2-hour drive from Bristol, Connecticut and Aaron's questionable associates. Had he been drafted by almost any other team, it would have been difficult for him to maintain his destructive relationships in Bristol. In 2010, Aaron Hernandez had a very successful rookie season.
Nice cut by Hernandez. Splits the defenders. He has a first down. Boy, that rookie can run. Tight end taken in the 4th round out of Florida.
As the youngest player in the NFL, he played in 17 of 19 games.
That's Hernandez getting away from 2 Jets. Running back middle, he's got open field. It's past Tremonti. Boy, can this kid make some cuts.
He rushed for 47 yards on only 3 carries.
In the line for the Patriots. And it's a big gainer by Hernandez for about 19. He's on for a touchdown. The youngest player in the league, Aaron Hernandez, finds the end zone from 8 yards out.
He had a total of 46 receptions for 567 yards and 6 touchdowns.
We have a guy, Aaron Hernandez, with great receiving and running skills.
I ain't gonna lie, man. If Aaron Hernandez ain't never do the shit he did, man, he probably went down as one of the best tight ends that ever played the game, man. Real shit. Real shit. That's real shit.
As a rookie, Aaron wore number 85. Before his second season, the Patriots acquired Chad Johnson, a.k.a. Chad Ochocinco, from the Bengals. Since he had legally changed his last name to 85 in Spanish, Aaron gave him the number. It's been alleged that Aaron sold him the number for $50,000 to finance a drug deal. For the remainder of his career, Aaron wore number 81, the same number he wore at Florida.
He said to finance a drug deal. I mean, if you think about it, like, when he first got in the league, he got that 200,000, you know what I'm saying? He bought his crib and all that, you know what I'm saying? So if he really, like, you know, still in the streets a little bit, then, you know, I could see that, but I don't know if you could just put that out there either, though. Like you can't just put that out there, though. You know what I'm saying? It was used to finance a drug deal. Like, nah, you can't just say that, man. Like, nah. So, do I believe it was used to finance a drug deal? I'm going to say no. I think it was used to take care of his wife and kids.
While broadcasting Super Bowl 46, Al Michaels described Aaron's second season as spectacular. Aaron played in 17 of 19 games, rushed for 115 yards on 13 carries, and had 98 receptions for 1,098 yards and 9 touchdowns. He was the Patriots' top receiver in the Super Bowl with 8 receptions for 67 yards and a touchdown.
Second and a deuce. And over the middle, getting free. Touchdown, Hernandez.
This is the townhouse Aaron rented on Messenger Street in Plainville. His first involvement with law enforcement since moving north from Florida happened roughly 3 months after the conclusion of his second NFL season. On April 30th, 2011, around 3:45 a.m., the Plainville police responded to several calls regarding a fight outside the townhouse involving Aaron and a friend. They had been in Boston drinking and were arguing outside the townhouse. The police diffused the situation and told them to go inside. While living in Plainville, Aaron maintained his friendships in Bristol. He remained close with his cousin Tanya Singleton and friends Ernest Bo Wallace and Carlos Charlie Boy Ortiz. He became close friends with another small-time Bristol criminal, Alexander Bradley. Bradley was a drug dealer and was able to supply Aaron's enormous appetite for marijuana. He was also able to get guns, and he had the ability, more than anyone else, to reason with Aaron and de-escalate confrontations. They spent a lot of time together, smoking marijuana, playing video games, going out gambling, and to bars and clubs. On Sunday, July 15th, 2012, Aaron Hernandez and Alexander Bradley went to a favorite club of theirs in downtown Boston's theater district called the Cure Lounge. Cure was located at 246 Tremont Street. They drove Aaron's silver 2006 Toyota 4Runner. They parked the 4Runner here in this parking garage, then walked over to Cure. Tremont Street, looking north toward Cure Lounge. They parked in the Tufts Medical Center parking garage, then walked up to Cure. Cure was located in the basement of the Wilbur Theater here at 246 Tremont Street. The entrance to Cure was here in this alley. Cure is now called Hava. Security camera images of Hernandez and Bradley entering Cure as VIPs, bypassing the line for paying customers. Allegedly, Aaron was angered by security upon entering the club when the staff made him surrender his cap. The clock time was actually 12:30. They went straight to the bar and ordered drinks. According to trial testimony, the club was not crowded that night, but while Aaron was standing by the bar holding a drink, he was bumped by 29-year-old Daniel De Abreu, causing Aaron's drink to splash onto his shirt. This enraged Aaron. De Abreu looked at him and smiled, which further enraged him. Daniel did not know who Hernandez was, and the bump was completely innocent. Hernandez took it as an insult and a challenge from De Abreu, and instantly became confrontational. Daniel De Abreu was at Cure that night with his friend, 28-year-old Safiro Furtado, and 3 other men, all natives of Cape Verde, an Atlantic Ocean island nation off the northwest coast of Africa.
Cape Verde.
Bradley was able to prevent a physical confrontation and was able to convince an irate Aaron Hernandez that the best thing to do would be to walk away and just leave Cure. Here they are back outside of Cure. The time shows 12:40. Hernandez and Bradley only spent about 10 minutes at Cure. As they walked back down Tremont Street to Aaron's SUV, a promoter for the Caprice Club, located across from the parking garage, invited them in. Caprice is now closed. It was associated with another club called Underbar. Caprice, Underbar, and the Courtyard by Marriott Hotel all shared the same address, 275 Tremont Street. Caprice was street level with Underbar below. This photo shows where Caprice was located. The doors and marquee of the Marriott are here. This doorway and these windows match up. And this gold plaque and this fire hydrant are also visible. Another club they visited often was Candy Bar, which is located in the same building, but with the address of 279 Tremont Street. After a brief visit to Caprice, they drove the 4Runner out of the parking garage, drove around the area, then parked and walked around smoking marijuana. Eventually, they parked back on Tremont Street. This is Tremont Street looking south. They parked the 4Runner here on the east side of Tremont Street, about a block south of the parking garage, and walked back north toward Caprice. They hung around the area outside Caprice, hoping to meet girls when the clubs closed at 2 a.m. Shortly after 2 a.m., as the party crowds were leaving the clubs, Aaron spotted De Abreu and Furtado leaving Cure and walking to their car, a silver BMW 325xi. Aaron, still angry and seeing an opportunity for revenge, told Bradley that he had seen them, and they returned to the 4Runner. This security camera footage shows the BMW leaving the garage, with De Abreu driving and Furtado in the passenger seat. A third man, Aquilino Friere, was in the back seat. This security camera footage, outside the garage looking south down Tremont Street, shows the other 2 Cape Verde men getting into the back seat. They then proceeded south on Tremont Street. As they passed Bradley and Hernandez, waiting in the 4Runner, Bradley followed them. He caught them while they were stopped at the traffic light at Shawmut Avenue and Harold Street.
Damn. So you telling me they waited around for them motherfuckers to leave the club?
Looking south down Tremont Street from the location of the Forerunner. Tremont Street turns right here. Bradley followed the BMW straight ahead onto Shawmut Avenue. He was stopped by a red light at Marginal Road. He testified that he stopped and looked both ways for traffic on Marginal Road, even though it was a one-way street. He then proceeded through the red light in pursuit of the BMW, which was stopped ahead at a red light. He pulled up next to them on their passenger side. According to Bradley, Aaron told him to put his window down, then leaned across him and fired 5 shots into the BMW. Furtado, in the passenger seat, was killed instantly. De Abreu, the driver, lived briefly before he also died at the scene. Of the 3 friends in the back seat, only one was injured, sustaining an arm wound. Bradley then turned right onto Harold Street. He immediately realized he was going the wrong direction on a one-way street. He did a U-turn and proceeded back to Shawmut Avenue in the crime scene where the light was red. Bradley stopped for the light. He and Hernandez watched the stunned, uninjured backseat passengers exit the BMW and seek help. From there, he got on the expressway, known locally as the Mass Pike, out of Boston. Oddly, there were very few witnesses to the shooting. 2 employees of Underbar told police that while driving home after work on Shawmut Avenue, they saw a silver Toyota 4Runner or Nissan Pathfinder with Rhode Island plates run the red light at Marginal Road, then race up to the BMW and fire shots into it. Bradley and Hernandez didn't have a destination planned and eventually decided to go to Hartford, Connecticut to Bradley's girlfriend's apartment, roughly a 2-hour drive.
Bro, you telling me they saying this man, Aaron Hernandez, killed 2 people because they bumped into him over a drink? And this after he in the NFL. This year 2, after the league. In the league already. Killing the league. No pun intended. That was the wrong word to use. He was in the league doing this thing, though. Bro, this man shot up a car, killed 2 people because they bumped him and spilled his drink, waited around, lurked on him.
His girlfriend, Brooke Wilcox, lived in a small 3rd-floor apartment on Newberry Street in Hartford. They parked on Grandview Terrace behind the apartment house and entered from the rear. Hernandez stayed in the living room. He asked to borrow Brooke's laptop so he could check the news out of Boston for reports on the shooting. The next morning, Aaron's cousin Tanya Singleton showed up. She took the 4Runner back to her house on Lake Avenue in Bristol to clean it up. Hernandez left in a car she had driven to the apartment. Boston detectives processed the crime scene, interviewed witnesses, watched security video from various locations, and got very few clues. Initially, they thought the shootings were gang-related, but quickly learned that Furtado, De Abreu, and their friends were completely innocent victims. They requested help from the public regarding the silver SUV with Rhode Island plates, with no results. They had no suspects and no motive. The case went cold. 2 weeks after the shooting, on July 27th, Hernandez started Patriots training camp, marking the beginning of his 3rd NFL season. 1 month after that, on August 27th, Hernandez signed a 5-year, $50 million contract extension. That included a $12.5 million signing bonus, an NFL record highest bonus ever paid to a tight end. On November.
What he say? Hold on. He say, Hernandez said, I have a lot more to get back. This after he signed that $50 million contract and he got $12.5 million. He say, I have a lot more to get back and all I can do is play my heart out for them, make the right decisions, and live life as a patriot. I just hope I keep going, doing the right things, making the right decisions, so I can have a good life and be there to live a good life with my family. Bro, you just killed 2 people, bro. Some gotta be. He said, I just hope I keep going, doing the right things, making the right decisions, so I can have a good life and be there to live a good life with my family. You say that after you went and you killed 2 people? Yeah, bro. Something was definitely wrong with bro. For real. Something was wrong with him. Something was definitely wrong with his head. Real shit. Something was wrong with that man's head, bro. Then after that, you killed some more.
On November 6th, Hernandez's girlfriend, Shayanna Jenkins, gave birth to their daughter, AVL. Later that month, they bought a house in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. The house was 8 miles south of Gillette Stadium. The 3-story, 8,000 square foot house on Ronald C. Meyer Drive in North Attleboro had 5 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, a movie theater, a sauna and ice bath, an in-ground pool with cabana, and 2 wet bars with a third in the cabana. Hernandez would install an elaborate security system with multiple cameras inside and out. Street view of the Hernandez house on Ronald C. Meyer Drive in North Attleboro. Seven months later, the news media congregated on this vacant lot when news of the Odin Lloyd murder broke. NFL Season 3 didn't go as well as expected for...
Bro, this man got away with 2 murders, and he still wanted to kill some more, bro. After he signed, he got $12.5 million. Bro, he's a fucking bozo.
For Hernandez, he dealt with an ankle injury for much of the year. He played in only 10 of 17 regular season games. He had 51 receptions for a total of 483 yards and 5 touchdowns. The season ended for Hernandez and the Patriots on January 20th, 2013, when they lost to the eventual Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship game.
Bro, this man was on top of the world, bro, when you think about it, bro. This man was on top of the world, bro.
3 weeks later, on Friday, February...
I guess he had some shit going on in his head motherfuckers ain't know about. Had to. He had to have something going on in his head that people ain't know about, man.
The 8th, Bradley and Hernandez flew to Palm Beach, Florida to attend a Super Bowl party with Hernandez's friend Deontay Thompson, known to his friends as D. D was a member of the Super Bowl champion Ravens. He was a teammate of Hernandez at the University of Florida. He saw Hernandez in New Orleans after the Super Bowl game and told him about a Super Bowl after party he was hosting in his hometown of Belle Glade, Florida, with his Raven teammate Pernell McPhee. McPhee grew up in Pahokee, a town just north of Belle Glade, and was a friend of Thompson's. They arrived at Palm Beach International Airport and were picked up by D. Thompson and a friend. They took Bradley and Hernandez to the Spring Hill Suites on Metro Center Boulevard in West Palm Beach. The party was held at Club 21 in Belle Glade, about an hour drive west of Palm Beach. Club 21 is closed down. This is a street view of the building on Northwest Avenue L that was home to Club 21.
Bro, if they saying he killed them two people, I think he did that shooting that he did. This man was fucking crazy, bro. Damn, this man was crazy, bro. He was fucking gun ho, like, bro. He was, bro. Then you think about it, the first shooting it was 5 shots, the second shooting it was 5 shots. Like, I don't know, man. Then he posted.
It's currently a restaurant and liquor store. Bradley and Hernandez stayed in the area for several days, partying at their hotel and going to clubs. After the first night,
Hey, if you're watching, like this video.
They moved their home base to the La Quinta Inn on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard in West Palm Beach and continued to party with D and his friends. They made nightly trips to various locations in the Miami area. In the early morning hours of Wednesday, February 13th, Bradley and Hernandez, along with two of Dee's friends, made a return trip to a favorite strip club of theirs, Tootsie's Cabaret, located on Northwest 183rd Street in Miami Gardens. Tootsie's is located in this 74,000 square foot warehouse. It's the country's largest strip club. Bradley, Hernandez, and friends didn't arrive that morning until around 3 a.m. They proceeded to one of the private second-floor luxury VIP boxes. Around 5 a.m., as they prepared to leave, Hernandez asked Bradley to split the $10,000 tab. Bradley objected, stating he'd be glad to contribute, but he didn't think he should have to pay for the other people that he didn't know. They argued, and Hernandez ended up paying the entire.
And they arguing over 10,000. He just signed for got 12.5 million. He fucking arguing with his homie over $10,000. Come on, man. What type of shit is that, man?
Higher bill. Hernandez was already unhappy with Bradley for a remark he made the previous night. Hernandez had become increasingly paranoid about the Boston murders. On the trip back north to Palm Beach, Bradley quickly realized that he had left his cell phone at Tootsie's. He asked the driver, Jarrell Pierre, to go back, but Hernandez said no. Another argument ensued, but Hernandez would not agree to go back. Bradley was furious, but eventually he fell asleep. They drove to an industrial area in Riviera Beach, north of Palm Beach and the La Quinta Inn. They were driving a white Range Rover. At the time of the shooting, this was John Deere Landscape Supply. As of 2022, it is Site 1 Landscape Supply. Shortly before 6:30 a.m., Kevin Riddle, manager at John Deere Landscape Supply, was preparing to open when he heard what he thought was a gunshot. He hurried to the outdoor storage area behind their building where his employee Mingle Blake was working. He met up with Mr. Blake and they searched the area, attempting to determine what they had heard. Finding nothing, Mr. Riddle returned to his desk. Moments later, he was informed by Mr. Blake that he had found a victim. Blake saw a person stumble out from between the buildings and collapse in the parking lot next door. Bradley testified that he woke up face to face with a handgun wielded by Hernandez. He put his hand up in front of his face as Hernandez pulled the trigger. The shot hit one of his fingers, then entered his face by the bridge of his nose and passed through his right eye before exiting his head. He was then thrown out of the vehicle by Hernandez and the backseat passenger, known to Bradley only as Soldier. Hernandez and friends then fled the scene, leaving Bradley for dead. This is a street view of the area behind John Deere Landscape Supply.
Bro, you telling me this is third year in the NFL, bro. He's just signed his new contract, $50 million. He got $12.5 million. He just got away with killing 2 people. Now he trying to kill. Now he just tried to kill the dude who he was driving with, who he was riding with, that was with him when he killed the 2 people. Damn, this motherfucker. Damn.
This view shows the area where Bradley was found.
Damn, bro.
The large metal structures in the foreground
I ain't know
were not
all
present
this shit.
in 2013. Bradley's hat, a shell casing, and some blood were found here by the fence. Mingle Blake found Bradley here, laying in the parking lot. Kevin Riddle called 911, and he and Mingle Blake attended to Bradley until medical help arrived. Bradley told them that he didn't know who shot him.
Damn. He tried to off his homie.
Bradley was taken by ambulance to St. Mary's Medical Center in West Palm Beach. He underwent successful life-saving surgery, but he lost his right eye. He told police he didn't want to say who shot him. Bradley called Hernandez the next day from the hospital. Needless to say, Hernandez was surprised to hear from him. In the months to follow, Bradley would threaten Hernandez, threats ranging from physical revenge to financial compensation. In addition, there was Bradley's knowledge of the Boston murders to add to Hernandez's anxiety and paranoia.
They say Hernandez say this place, talking about the Patriots, he say, this place has changed me as a person because you can't come here and act reckless. I came here and might have acted the way I wanted to act, but you get changed by Bill Belichick's way. You get changed by the Patriot way. This man full of shit, bro. Damn, bro. This shit wow, bro. Damn, I ain't know this man did all that shit.
It was around this time that Hernandez decided that he wanted to make a lifestyle change. He wanted to become a good father, fiance, football player, and teammate. And in order to accomplish that, he needed to get away from Boston and Bristol. He met with the Patriots to discuss his plans. He also told them he wasn't safe in Massachusetts and that he wanted to be traded. However, he was far too valuable to the Patriots to trade him, so they told him they would work with him to help him accomplish.
Bro, imagine you being a star football player, getting paid all this money, and you gotta go to your boss or whatever, the owners, and say, man, I don't feel safe where I live at. Man, like I gotta get traded. I need to go somewhere else because you didn't try to kill a motherfucker who, you know what I'm saying, who was your homie, who was with you when you did some other dirt, and now he alive calling you and threatening you. Now you scared because you know this shit can hit the fan any moment. You know what I'm saying? But you know you ain't really trying to, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna tell because really, if he tell you, both of y'all going down for that shit. So he really wants some money. So you knowing like, man, I ain't finna, you ain't trying to pay him for the rest of your motherfucking career, but if you was smart, you would've. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't enough for you. You had to kill some more. Like, damn. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on in your head, man.
Push his goals. To get away from the area, in March of 2013, Hernandez and Cheyenne rented a condo in Hermosa Beach, California. He told the Patriots that he could rehab a shoulder injury and he would be closer to Tom Brady, who spent the offseason at his Brentwood, California estate. The condo was here, according to a police report, in the 100 block of Linden Street. Hernandez didn't start out well in his quest to become a better man. His neighbors reported loud parties on several occasions and also reported hearing loud fights between Hernandez and Cheyenne. Cheyenne called 911 at least twice herself when Hernandez had become violent, one time slashing his arm by punching it through a window. On 2 occasions, Hernandez visited a tattoo store, Hermosa Inc., on Hermosa Avenue. One visit was with Cheyenne. They got matching tattoos. Hernandez also visited alone, at which time he got tattoos of guns, bullets, and a revolver cylinder with one empty chamber. These tattoos would be significant in future courtroom proceedings. On April 19th, Hernandez was drinking at the Chelsea Pub and Lounge on Hermosa Avenue, 3/4 of a mile north of the condo. This is the Chelsea Pub on Hermosa Avenue. It is closed, but the Chelsea sign is clearly visible here.
Bro. This man went and tattooed evidence on his body.
The Chelsea Pub building in this street view is easily identifiable from this photo. After several attempts to take his drinks outside of the bar, which wasn't allowed, Hernandez became belligerent with Chelsea employees and was asked to leave. Just another incident demonstrating his inability to make good decisions and control his bad behavior. Back in Massachusetts, in May of 2013, in keeping with their commitment to help protect him, the Patriots found Hernandez an apartment to use in Franklin. It was 12 miles northwest of his North Attleboro house. The apartment was known as the Crash Pad and the Spot. He used the apartment to hang out with friends, smoking marijuana, and occasionally as a place to take women. His friend Ernest Wallace from Bristol was a frequent visitor. Shiana Jenkins' 20-year-old sister Shania, who lived in Bristol, met 26-year-old Odin Lloyd of Dorchester, Massachusetts in January of 2012. Shania was working at the front desk of the Comfort Suites Hotel in Southington, Connecticut. The company Odin worked for at the time was working in the Bristol area and used the Comfort Suites for lodging. Shania and Odin began dating in March of 2012. Aaron Hernandez first met Odin Lloyd at Gillette Stadium on August 9, 2012, Shania's 21st birthday. Subsequently, Odin and Shania would often visit her sister and Hernandez in Plainville and North Attleboro. Odin played semi-pro football and, like Hernandez, enjoyed marijuana. Hernandez called him the blunt master because of his prowess, for rolling marijuana blunts. Odin and Hernandez became friends.
He told us with the blunt master. Oh man, yeah, that's funny, man. Damn, man. So by this time, before he even meet old Lloyd, he done already killed 3 people. Well, he killed 2, attempted murder on one, his homie. Man, something wrong with the boy. Like, yeah, he got man,
On Friday, June 14th,
he
2013,
quick to
Hernandez, Odin Lloyd, and Hernandez's friend Robbie
shoot
Oliveras
that gun.
were at another club in Boston's theater district called Rumor. It was a half block west of Cure on Warrenton Street. Rumor was renovated in 2014 and renamed Icon. Hernandez and Lloyd were reported to have been arguing that night and spent most of the night apart. This security camera footage shows Hernandez arguing with Odin Lloyd outside of Rumor, walking north on Warrenton Street towards Stewart Street. Shortly after 2 a.m., when the clubs closed, Hernandez and his 2 friends were parked around the corner from Rumor on Stewart Street in front of the W Hotel. His daughter's nanny, Jennifer Fortier, and her friend Amanda DeVito walked by. Hernandez told them to get into the SUV he was driving, and he would give them a ride to their car. Instead, he drove to North Attleboro, despite Fortier's protests. He dropped Oliveras off near his house, where Oliveras had parked his car. He said he didn't want Cheyenne to see him. He then proceeded to the apartment in Franklin. Hernandez and Lloyd were high on marijuana and continued smoking at the apartment. According to her testimony, Hernandez told Fortier to join him in a bedroom, where Hernandez kissed her. She told him she wasn't comfortable with the situation because she was his daughter's nanny. Hernandez said he understood, then soon after fell asleep. Fortier denied anything improper occurred. She went back to the living room, where she found Amanda and Odin asleep. She called a taxi, which took her and her friend Amanda back to their car parked in the Boston Theater District. A day later, on Father's Day, Sunday, June 16th, Fortier was back in North Attleboro babysitting. Hernandez and Cheyenne went out for dinner at the South Street Cafe in Providence, Rhode Island. They left home around 9 p.m. This photo, taken at the South Street Cafe about 4 hours before the Odin Lloyd murder, shows Hernandez with Cheyenne and friends. The man on the right is Hernandez's friend and barber, Bobby Oliveras, who was out with Hernandez and Odin the previous night at Rumor. During the evening, Hernandez had been texting Ernest Bo Wallace in Bristol, telling him to come to North Attleboro. Wallace left Tanya Singleton's house at 114 Lake Avenue in Bristol around 10 p.m. in a silver Nissan Altima that had been rented by Hernandez. He was accompanied by Carlos Ortiz. Hernandez had also been texting Odin Lloyd in Dorchester to tell him he wanted him to go out later that night.
Bro, that man got a thirst for murder, bro. He's setting dude up. That man got a thirst for murder, bro. That man bloodthirsty.
Wallace and Ortiz arrived at the Hernandez house around midnight. Hernandez and Cheyenne arrived around 12:40. Hernandez, Wallace, and Ortiz left around 1:10 in the Altima, headed to Dorchester to get Odin Lloyd. On the way to
man already
Dorchester,
a
they stopped
millionaire.
for gas at Blue Hill Express in Canton.
The man a millionaire already playing for the Patriots. Come on.
There they were seen on multiple surveillance cameras. This surveillance footage shows Hernandez getting gas. Here he dances into the store.
Dancing right before he kill a motherfucker though, like something wrong with him, bro. He's had something wrong.
He bought
with him,
Blue
bro.
Bubblicious gum and cigars. This shows Hernandez and Carlos Ortiz. Notice the white towel Ortiz is wearing around his neck. Here Hernandez and Ortiz get into the car. Hernandez is driving. They proceeded to Dorchester, where Odin Lloyd was waiting for them. Odin lived on Fayston Street in Dorchester. This is the duplex where Lloyd lived with his mother and sisters. They lived on the left side in number 10. Odin's neighbor, Jose Lopez, who lived here at 9 Fayston Street, had 8 external security cameras, 3 of which faced the street.
Man, bro. But I don't really know nobody that'll make it to where he made it to and still make them decisions that he was making, man. Like,
One of the Lopez security cameras shows Lloyd being picked up around 2:30 a.m. The front of Odin's house is visible here. The Altima drives up and stops.
bro, you got away with 2 murders. You tried to kill your homie, he ain't tell on you. You still bloodthirsty? You just signed a deal, $50 million, you just got $12.5 million. What you doing? Like, what is we doing?
Odin walks over to the car, opens the door, and gets in. From this camera, these 2 houses are visible as we see Hernandez drive away. They then drove all the way back to North Attleboro. The Altima was spotted by various surveillance cameras along the route. Hernandez blew through toll booths and fired a gun at road signs. Odin's sister Shaquila saw him get into the car. During the drive, Odin was texting with her.
He texted his sister, so he texted his sister, you saw who I'm with? Hello? My phone was there. Who was that? He say, NFL. She said, you're Aggie. I guess that means aggravating. He said,
She
just
wanted
so
to
you
make
know.
sure she knew who he was with.
Yeah, so he telling her this is who I'm with. Like he's trying to make sure she know this is who I'm with in case something happened or something. Or I don't think he was bragging about it. I think he was saying it just so you know this is who I'm with. The NFL guy.
Hernandez drove to this secluded open field in the North Attleboro Industrial Park,
Damn.
just southeast of his own neighborhood.
He took him right to the. Damn, he picked his ass up right to go take him to where he want to do him at. Damn. He cold.
A surveillance camera at Metalor Technologies showed the Altima entering the crime scene. In 2013, it was common for surveillance cameras to display incorrect times. The Metalore cameras were determined to be 8 minutes, 7 seconds fast. On Monday, June 17, 2013, at approximately 3:25 a.m., Aaron Hernandez shot Odin Lloyd 6 times, killing him, then left him laying on his back in the dirt. Around Odin's body, as stated previously, police found tire tracks, footprints, shell casings, a marijuana blunt, and a white towel. On the body, they found Odin's driver's license, his cell phone, and keys to the Suburban Hernandez had rented. They were seen by another camera at Metalore 4 minutes later, leaving the crime scene, headed for the Hernandez house. A camera at Bell's Powder Coating recorded the Altima as it passed by here. This is video from the Hernandez surveillance system showing the Altima arriving back at the Hernandez house after the shooting.
His own surveillance cameras was what got him.
Hernandez, Wallace, and Ortiz exit the vehicle without Odin Lloyd. Notice that Ortiz is no longer wearing a white towel around his neck. This surveillance camera footage in the foyer shows Hernandez holding a gun. This is shortly after the shooting. The time is off by 12 hours, 4 minutes. Later that day, Monday the 17th, Hernandez, Wallace, and Ortiz returned the Altima to Enterprise. The local Enterprise rent-a-car branch is on Washington Street in North Attleboro. The Altima was damaged. The entire side of the car was scratched, and the driver's side mirror was broken off. Hernandez told the manager at Enterprise that he didn't know how it happened. It was due to his impaired driving the previous night. Hernandez rented a Chrysler 300 for Wallace and Ortiz. Here they are seen departing the Hernandez house in the Chrysler. Early the next morning, Tuesday the 18th, Enterprise branch manager Keelia Smith cleaned out the Altima. Under the driver's seat, she found a chewed wad of Bubblicious bubblegum. She also found a shell casing. She picked them up using a child's drawing that was also under the seat. She threw it all into a dumpster, along with an empty vitamin water bottle, also from the Altima. At the time, she was unaware of any significance of any of it. On Thursday the 20th, Enterprise manager Keelia Smith, upon hearing news reporting that Aaron Hernandez was being investigated in a shooting, realized that the trash she found in the Altima 2 days earlier may be of importance. She called the North Attleboro police, who responded immediately. They were able to retrieve the gum and bullet casing from the dumpster that evening. This evidence tied Hernandez directly to the shooting. The ballistics of the shell casing matched those of the shells found around Odin's body. Hernandez bought blue Bubblicious gum the previous night, and the wad from the Altima contained his DNA. The name Jano, or Hano, which was written on the paper, was also tattooed on Hernandez's chest. An uncommon name that happens to be the name of one of Tanya Singleton's sons. Using the wealth of clues found at the crime scene, multiple surveillance camera footage, and interviews with people connected to the event, the police quickly tied the shooting to Hernandez and subsequently to Wallace and Ortiz. On June 26th, only 10 days after the shooting, Hernandez was arrested at his house on Ronald C. Meyer Drive.
Man, this man Hernandez was a fucking idiot, bro. I don't even get it, bro. I'm just like, I ain't know he did all this shit.
He was taken to the Attleboro District Courthouse on North Main Street in Attleboro for arraignment. This is the back of the building. This photo shows Hernandez arriving at the courthouse amid a throng of press and curious members of the public.
Damn, I can't believe that nigga went out like that, boy. Damn.
This is the front of the building on North Main Street in Attleboro.
Damn.
Hernandez pled not guilty to 5 weapons charges and 1 charge of murder. That afternoon, he was released by the Patriots. This is a street view of the front side of the Attleboro District Courthouse.
The Patriots probably met with his lawyers. They probably like, Patriots like, yeah, how's it looking for him? The lawyer probably like, Patriots say, okay, cut. Oh, you cut, you're done. Oh, yeah, the 50 million, yeah, 12.5 million you got, that's probably voided too, on the real, because you probably did some shit that went against that contract language. So yeah, you probably, yeah, you just, man, I can't believe this. I can't believe he went out. Bro, y'all let me know in the comments, bro. Like, just let me know how your reaction in the comments with 2 words. I just want to know your reaction with 2 words.
These photos show the press conference held in front of the courthouse by District Attorney Sam Sutter after the arraignment. Hernandez was held at the Bristol County Jail and House of Correction in North Dartmouth. While investigating the involvement of Wallace and Ortiz in the Odin Lloyd murder, a search warrant was executed at 114 Lake Avenue in Bristol, the home of Tanya Singleton and frequent hangout of Wallace and Ortiz. During that search, a silver Toyota 4Runner with Rhode Island plates was found in the garage. That vehicle matched the description of a vehicle the Boston police were looking for in regards to a double homicide the previous year.
They still got the car? So they know the car was used and there's 2 bodies on it and they still kept it? Bro. That shit dumb as hell, boy. Yeah, they ass dumb. All of them, all parties. Dumb.
4Runner was registered to Aaron Hernandez, and it implicated him in the Boston murders.
Damn.
On May 15th, 2014, Hernandez was indicted for the murders of Daniel De Abreu and Safiro Furtado.
I ain't even know all that. I ain't know he got indicted for the murders too.
The Bristol County murder trial of Aaron Hernandez began on Thursday, January 29th, 2015, at the Bristol County Superior Courthouse in Fall River, Massachusetts. 3 days later, the Patriots defeated the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 49.
He supposed to be a part of that.
On April 15th, 2015, 2.5 months after the start of the trial,
Bro, the man...
Hernandez was convicted on all counts, including 1 count of first-degree murder. That conviction carried with it a mandatory sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. He was assigned to the Massachusetts Correctional Institution, Cedar Junction, in South Walpole. Ironically, 1.5 miles northwest of Gillette Stadium. He was there very briefly before being moved to the maximum security Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center in Lancaster, Massachusetts. On February 14, 2017, jury selection began in the trial for the 2012 murders of Daniel De Abreu and Safiro Furtado at the Suffolk County Superior Courthouse on Pemberton Square in Boston. Opening arguments were presented on March 1st. Two months later, on April 14, 2017, Hernandez was acquitted of the 2 homicide charges. No one else has ever been charged with those murders.
He beat him.
Hernandez was returned to the Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center to continue serving his life sentence.
I wonder how he beat him though. I mean, they probably got a license plate. I mean, the car was cleaned and all that. So if they ain't had a license plate, all they had was the kind of car it was. There's probably plenty of them trucks out there. So if they had no evidence found in that car on it, they ain't really had shit. But his homie who he tried to kill could have came and testified. But if he did that, yeah, it's over with for him too. So that's what happened. His homie ain't come testify against him. That's what it was. Same homie
5
he
days
tried to
later,
kill.
April 19, 2017, at 3:05 a.m., Hernandez was found dead in his cell. An apparent victim of suicide. He had crafted a rope from his bed sheets, attached one end to the bars over the window in his cell, the other into a noose which he placed around his neck. He left notes to his attorney, Shayanna, and his daughter Aviel. He was 27.
Damn, bro. Like, damn. This man, bro. Like, I don't really know what this man was living for. I don't really understand. I don't really know what he's living for. Like, what was he living for? Just to kill and then go to jail and kill himself? Like, what was he? Was his plan just to die? Did he just want to die altogether? And he just wanted to kill until he eventually got caught, and then was like, what was his whole plan? Like, was it CTE playing that football? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what the fuck was it, bro? Like, this shit just mind blowing. Like, for real. You go to Florida, you play in Florida. You know what I'm saying? You involved the other shit while you in college. Motherfuckers all almost end up dying. You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers almost end up dying. You know what I'm saying? Then go to the league. You know what I'm saying? You in the league. You clap 2 people, bro, because they bumped you or whatever case happened. Y'all could have just fought in the club. You might well just fought. But you waited, lurked around. You feel me? Well, we ain't gonna say you did that because you beat that. You feel me? You beat it. So we ain't gonna say you did that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So yeah. Then you feel me, bro? You try to clap your homie who was with you while you did that because of some shit you got into with him about, bro. You feel me? Then your homie wake up from the dead. He ain't dead. You feel me? Then you feel me? All right. You get into it, Odin Lloyd, and you clap him. Bro, this is all while you a New England Patriot in the league millionaire. Bro, what was on your fuck? I don't understand it, bro. I don't get it. I don't get it, bro. Like, if you make it out the hood or whatever, you make it out of a certain place, you supposed to be able to, you know what I'm saying? That money gonna make you grow. You gonna grow and elevate. You should be able to grow and elevate. You know what I'm saying? Your mind and everything when you get money, because you can pay for knowledge. You can pay for, you got access to more shit when you got more money, because you can pay for certain knowledge and shit. You can pay for certain information, but I don't know what Aaron Hernandez was on, man. Man, it's like he just wanted to kill. He wanted to shoot people. He wanted to shoot that gun, and he wanted to kill. Like he wanted to kill. Like that's what he wanted to do. Like he was shooting to kill. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what was. I don't know what that was in him to made him turn into that. Man, like I don't know, man. But I mean, it's a lot of motherfuckers who successful, you know what I'm saying, and end up doing shit that, land them in jail, you know what I'm saying? So, but murders and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, your ass ain't getting out of jail, bro. Like, then you just go on a killing spree. Like, then you talking all this, hopefully I continue to make the right decisions and all that. Like, man, bro, like, then you go to jail just to kill yourself. It's like, that shit just all mind blowing to me. Like, but yeah, man. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTube shit.